You are listening to the best podcast from the USA to the UK on greatdayradio.com.
Welcome to another Great Day Radio discussion. I am DJ D. Marie. For this podcast show, we will discuss the impact of surprise divorce announcements on children and what parents need to know. Stay tuned after these messages from our sponsor.
This is DJ Tyler, and I want to take this time to talk about an organization called The Other Side Academy located in Denver, Colorado. The Other Side Academy is a residential program that is free to men and women who have hit rock bottom and are ready to make a positive change in their life. This is a little over a 2-year commitment that provides peer-taught life skills, vocational training such as cooking, admin skills, and much more. According to Alyssa Garcia and Managing Director Lola Strong, their goals is to help those who are broken among us, whose lives are filled with crime, substance abuse, and homelessness. The organization's model is we save lives by changing behaviors. The Other Side Academy is a non-profit organization. Find out how you can help contribute to their cause. Call 303-335-9488. That number again is 303-335-9488, or visit their website at theothersideacademy.com. Thank you all for showing your support and sharing the love. To continue to give you great discussions and great music, please continue to support our sponsors. Visit greatdayradio.com and learn how you can be a sponsor to any of our podcast shows, radio mixes, or discussions. Or call toll-free 1-800-674-9313. That number again is 800-674-9313. Thank you all for your support. We have another great set of cool music from country, rock, old school hip-hop, to smooth rhythm and blues and much, much more.
Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in to Great Day Radio. Divorce is never an easy process, especially when it comes unexpectedly. For parents, the focus often shifts toward managing their own emotions, navigating legalities, and figuring out the logistics of splitting up their lives. But for children, the emotional turmoil can be even more intense, especially when the announcement of divorce comes as a surprise. In this podcast, we will explore how surprise divorce announcements affect children and provide some insights based on both research and real-life experience. Understanding the emotional and psychological impact on children is critical in helping parents manage this transition with care. My co-host, DJ Mikey D, will share the stage as he discusses his take based on his own experience, having gone through a nasty divorce himself. Welcome, DJ Mikey D. Thank you for chiming in and adding your take and sound research from subject matter experts in marriage counseling.
Thank you for having me. When you mentioned you were producing a piece on sudden divorces, I had to chime in, as sudden announcements of divorce has happened to me. See, for me, I was happily married for 13 years. By no means was it perfect, but what marriages are. It is constant building and rebuilding. In our marriage, we have 2 amazing children. While I spare you all the details of the divorce, it was a surprise when my wife out of nowhere made the announcement that she wanted to move on because she was unhappy. The worst part in that decision is that it was not planned. There were no time to react or determine the best way to proceed. There was no time to plan what is best for the kiddos or the logistics. It was, let's divorce and you have to leave the house. The circumstances was rather cold in a literal sense, because it was in the coldest month in a Colorado winter. Nevertheless, I had to respect her decision and leave as fast as she wanted me out of the house. While I was hurt and devastated, I was concerned about the kiddos and how they will understand the surprise announcement. Needless to say, my little girl took it hard and was very heartbroken. My teenage son backed off from talking and texting me back. That was tough. From my previous experience having gone through this with my adult children and their mom, it was no easy process. When a divorce comes as a shock to the children, it often feels like their world is turning upside down. While adults can typically see the signs of marital strain, children may be unaware of the tensions that preceded the announcement. Even in cases where children have been aware of arguments or issues, they may not have expected the relationship to end in divorce. Psychologists note that sudden changes, especially involving family dynamics, can trigger feelings of insecurity, confusion, and fear. Children often need time to process the information and might struggle to make sense of what the future holds.
Wow, how were you able to emotionally respond, and what is your take on the emotional impact on children?
As I mentioned, I was devastated. I was unprepared. I had no money to get into another living situation, so I had to camp in my vehicle for a while. Certainly not the fun kind of camping. Cars are like an icebox in the winter. As for the emotional impact on children, the emotional reaction to a surprise divorce announcement varies depending on the child's age, maturity level, and temperament, according to subject matter experts. However, there are common emotional responses children might experience, such as shock and confusion. For many children, the initial response is one of disbelief. They may not immediately understand why their parents are separating, and this can lead to confusion. They might even worry that they played a role in the divorce. Sadness and loss. Divorce is a loss, not only of a family structure, but also of the family unit as the child knows it. Children may mourn the idea of losing the family as they once understood it, as well as the change in living arrangements, routines, and daily interactions. Guilt and self-blame. A common reaction among children is the tendency to blame themselves for the divorce, especially if they feel they have caused tension between their parents. This can lead to guilt, anxiety, and a decrease in self-esteem. Fear of the future. Children may feel anxious about what comes next. Will they still see both parents? Will they need to move away from their friends or school? What happens if one parent moves far away? Fear of change is a natural response in such uncertain situations. Lastly, anger. In some cases, children might respond with anger. They may direct this toward one or both parents, particularly if they feel abandoned or betrayed. Anger can also be an expression of helplessness or frustration.
First, I am sorry you had to experience the loss and devastation of going through that ordeal. Divorce is something I don't wish upon anyone, especially when children are involved. I have to ask, were there any signs that a divorce was imminent prior to the sudden announcement? You also mentioned that you have adult kids that still to this day has issues and insecurities. Can there be an age-related response to sudden divorces?
Thank you. It is not easy. I, to this day, am still emotionally hurt for how it all went down. There were many signs, again without going too much in details because it's personal. During the COVID days, she announced twice she wanted a divorce. I reacted and began the process of giving her space. Within months, we found a middle ground to work it out. It was not the same type of love as was prior to COVID, but we were working on our happiness together as husband and wife. Yes, I do have 2 adult children from my first marriage. They both struggle. One son has anger issues. While he does not express aloud, he rarely speaks to me despite my best efforts to talk with him. I did some research and found that there is age-related responses to divorce. Children's reactions to divorce can also be shaped by their developmental stages. For example, young children from ages 2 to 6 are often unable to fully comprehend the complexities of divorce. Their understanding is limited, so they may interpret the situation in simple terms, like thinking their parents are angry with them. They may become clingy, have trouble sleeping, or exhibit regressive behaviors such as bedwetting. Children, ages 7 to 12, begin to grasp the concept of divorce and may feel a stronger sense of responsibility or guilt. They might also struggle to maintain relationships with both parents and can feel torn between the two. This age group may show signs of anxiety, sadness, and difficulty focusing at school. Teenagers from age 13 to 18 years old tend to understand the gravity of divorce and may feel anger, betrayal, or confusion. Some may distance themselves emotionally from one or both parents as a way of coping with the changes. This age group may also seek comfort from peers, which can sometimes complicate the situation further.
Wow, great insight. I do commend you for sticking it out and at least try and make it work. I hope I am not prying too much, but with the suddenness of the divorce, do you think there will ever be a chance of getting back together someday? In my research, I did come across some facts on coping strategies for parents that I want to share with parents who are going through similar situation as you did. As a parent, It's important to remember that while your child's world is changing, you still have a role in helping them navigate this difficult transition. Here are some strategies I researched that may help ease the impact of a surprise divorce announcement on your children. First, be honest, but age-appropriate. Children need the truth, but it should be delivered in a way that suits their age and emotional development. Be clear about the situation, but avoid oversharing adult details that might overwhelm or confuse them. Reassure them that the divorce is not their fault. 2. Maintain stability and routine. Children find comfort in routine. Try to maintain consistency in their daily life, such as keeping them in the same school, seeing the same friends, and maintaining familiar household routines as much as possible. Stability can help mitigate some of the uncertainty they may feel. 3. Encourage open communication. Create a safe space for your children to express their feelings. Be patient and listen without judgment, letting them ask questions and share their concerns. Open communication will help them process the situation and feel supported. 4. Co-parenting with care. If possible, strive for a cooperative and respectful relationship with your ex-spouse. Even if emotions are running high, keeping conflicts away from the children and showing them that both parents are committed to their well-being will provide a sense of security. Most importantly, try and have civil conversations. Try not to avoid speaking to your ex, as it will cause tension and confusion with the children. Lastly, seek professional help. If your child is struggling with the divorce, it might be helpful to seek therapy or counseling. A trained professional can help them work through their emotions in a safe and supportive environment. Therapy can also provide valuable coping strategies for both children and parents. In fact, it is also recommended that parents seek marriage counseling even if divorce is avoidable. This can help foster a great co-parenting opportunity as you both move on with life.
Thank you. Great information. Do I hope for reconciliation? Of course I do. We made it 13 years. While I say our two amazing children gave a purpose, it was our ability to have laughter in our life, our dorkiness, creativeness, our ability to be great parents. She is an amazing mom to my kiddos. Despite the divorce, despite my anger, how it all went down, I will always love her. And if it is in the plans, yes, I would welcome that opportunity. Okay, enough about me. While research provides valuable insights into the general effects of divorce on children, every family's experience is unique. Having gone through a sudden divorce myself, I offer the following advice based on my experiences. First, it took time for my kids to come to terms with the divorce, and I had to be patient with them. They were angry, confused, and unsure of what was going to happen next. Reassuring them and making sure they knew they were loved by both of us helped. Second, both my ex and I continue to make sure to tell our kids regularly that this wasn't their fault and that we still loved them. It didn't solve everything, but it definitely gave them a sense of emotional stability during a time of turmoil. Lastly, it's important to let your kids express their feelings, even if it means they're upset with you. Divorce can be an emotional roller coaster for everyone, and it's okay for children to grieve the loss of the family they once knew.
DJ Mikey D, thank you for sharing your take on this subject. I always seem to pry in your life events. I do pray for you both, and hopefully someday you do find each other. Never give up hope. Okay, time to wrap up another Great Day Radio podcast show. So, as I conclude this portion, I say this: divorce is a major life event that can shake the foundation of a family, and a surprise divorce announcement can make the process even more challenging for children. However, with love, patience, and careful attention to their emotional needs, parents can help their children adjust to the changes. By offering stability, fostering open communication, and seeking professional support when necessary, parents can minimize the negative impact of divorce on their children and help them grow through this difficult transition. Thank you all for listening to our show. I encourage you to share this or other podcast shows that may be able to help someone going through a divorce or separated from their children due to a sudden divorce announcement. If you have a subject you would like to discuss, I encourage you to contact us at greatdayradio.com and click on Let's Talk and leave a 60-second message.
You are listening to the People Station on greatdayradio.com.